You know, as a veteran of the Rangers Guild, I have watched countless rookies march out of our massive wooden gates. Their heads are usually just full of grand ideals, and their hearts are absolutely full of fire. But the hard truth is, not all of them return. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to dive really deep into a genuinely harrowing chapter of our guild's history, the Kaignis King arc. We're going to analyze rookie Rhys Dragonart's journey, not just as some thrilling adventure story, but as a critical mentor's case study. We're looking at survival, duty, and the agonizing weight of personal choices. Because ultimately, this is a story about what actually happens when the theoretical dangers you read about in a textbook become a lethal, breathing reality.
So here is our syllabus for today's explainer. We'll be breaking down the weight of the Ranger's Pledge, fractured dynamics and deadly skies, and the perils in the Shade Forest. After that, we'll confront the Kaignis curse, map out sacrifice, duty, and strength, and finally, witness the awakening in the village. Section 1. Weight of the Ranger's Pledge. Before any swords are ever swung or any dragons even take flight, the battle lines of this mission are actually drawn at a simple breakfast table. It's fascinating how rapidly Rhys escalates the entire situation on the morning of Eckham's day. He literally starts by just casually dropping the bombshell that he intends to complete Irasasa Senshiro's failed mission, solo. Now, to a veteran mentor watching from the sidelines, seeing a rookie who doesn't even have a dragon partner yet volunteer for a mission that has already captured fully fledged dragon masters, well, it's pure madness. Shin and Kyla immediately try to give him a violent reality check, warning him of the unnatural horrors waiting outside. But Master Jin, somehow recognizing the sheer resolve in the boy, actually grants him permission. And by late morning, this rookie is standing face to face with the Dragon Lord himself.
Now, you have to ask yourself, what on earth is driving him to take on these impossible odds? It boils down to this singular line: I will protect the weak and free the oppressed. For Rhys, these words aren't just some empty motto to be mindlessly recited during guild ceremonies. They are the absolute lifeblood that motivates his every single breath. He simply cannot live with himself knowing that people in Sage's are suffering, just because he feels he's too weak to act.
And the standoff with the Dragon Lord is a masterclass in chilling wisdom. Rhys is standing there, demanding to join Team Kira to save the kidnapped Rangers. The Dragon Lord hits him with a brutal truth. Yes, Team Kira is terribly understaffed, but forcing Rhys onto a team where he is openly despised by a member like Aurora, that creates a catastrophic liability. An understaffed team is dangerous for sure, but a team poisoned by internal mistrust, that is an absolute death sentence on the battlefield. Yet the Dragon Lord forces Rhys onto the team anyway. It's a deliberate, calculated test to see whether their shared duty can actually overcome their internal fractures.
Section 2. Fractured dynamics and deadly skies. So the Dragon Lord's decision is made, and the immediate aftermath plunges Rhys into a terrifying new reality the second he leaves the guild walls. Internally, he's dealing with crippling social tension. Aurora explicitly tells him to his face that she will never accept him. She views him as a painful walking reminder of her lost comrade, Jared, and this blinding hatred threatens their cohesion at literally every turn. But externally, Rhys faces an immediate, visceral terror: the open sky. Riding behind Araza on her dragon Terra, Rhys realizes he is completely and utterly at the mercy of gravity. It is a harsh, almost comedic lesson for a rookie. Gravity and Kahum dactyls don't care about your noble feelings, and they certainly don't care about your team drama. Up there, if you fall, you die. The absolutely crucial point here is understanding the sheer volume of extreme risks stacked against this team on this failed mission. They aren't just facing your run-of-the-mill bandits. They're stepping into a sprawling ecosystem that is literally designed to kill them. We're talking about enemies capable of capturing fully fledged masters. We're talking lethal natural traps, nocturnal airborne predators like the dactyls, the ever-present nightmare of a fatal fall, and of course, the most dangerous trap of all, their own fractured team dynamics. Out here, reason alone is not going to keep you alive.
Section 3. Perils in the Shade Forest.
As the team descends into the Shade Forest to avoid the dactyls, those theoretical dangers instantly become a physical reality. And this brilliantly illustrates Rhys's instinctual grasp of leadership. Despite Aurora constantly berating him all day, when her reckless charge lands her waist-deep in quicksand, Rhys doesn't even blink. He completely ignores the danger, pushes past his own paralyzing fear, and pulls a hateful ally from the mud using just a tree branch in his bare hands. He earns his place on this team not through debating, but through raw action.
He proves right there that true leadership is rooted in self-sacrifice, in anticipating the land's natural defenses, and recognizing that out in the wild, you absolutely must act to save your teammates, regardless of how they might feel about you.
Now, they managed to navigate the quicksand and even fend off the initial wave of Kaignis wolves from behind Aras's earthen barrier. But it begs a really grim question. We've seen how they handle these external threats. But what happens when the greatest threat isn't a wolf clawing at the outside of the wall, but a poison already pumping through your own veins?
Section 4. Confronting the Kindness Curse.
This brings us to the ultimate turning point of the entire arc. Night falls, the earthen barrier crumbles under Arisa's sudden fright, and it is just a horrific moment of realization. The colossal Kaignis king lunges, sinking its fangs deeply into Arisa's flesh. And even as Aurora heroically strikes the beast down in the physical world, the Kaignis king actually mocks Rhys, declaring that their battle has only just begun as its physical form fades away. The physical battle in the forest abruptly ends, but the battleground simply shifts. It moves entirely from the muddy floor of the Shade Forest directly into Rhys's own poisoned bloodstream. The team desperately rushes a dying Rhys to the village of Shades, sneaking past sentries to reach Dr. Gensai. But let's take a look at the doctor's terrifying discovery under the microscope. This venom isn't causing rapid cellular degeneration like normal Kaignis wolf poison. No, Dr. Gensai realizes the poison's effect is uniquely psychological. Standard antivenoms are completely useless here. The only miracle they can hope for is that this rookie is mentally strong enough to overcome the demon on his own. Rhys is completely isolated now. He has to fight this war entirely alone, inside his own mind.
Section 5. Sacrifice, Duty, and Strength.
To truly understand the gravity of this situation, it helps to map out how this builds into a really fascinating conflict matrix. Notice how every single external physical battle perfectly mirrors an agonizing internal emotional struggle. Out in the real world, Aurora is navigating the deadly Shade Forest, while internally, she's navigating her blinding sorrow and unjustified hatred. The team as a whole is trying to rescue Team Sentiaro from the warlord Daedavili, but internally, they are battling fractured trust and the lingering ghost of their lost comrade Jared. And Reyes? He is fighting for his life against wolves and bandits externally, but his real trial is the self-doubt and the toxic poison of the Kaignis King literally ravaging his soul. And we get to see this duality of strength play out brilliantly in real time. Outside, in the village streets, the bandits attack. Derek, who is the strongest rookie physically, unleashes his explosive, fiery swordsmanship. He is actively and loudly cutting down the Maelstrom gang. It's this raw, incredible display of physical power. But contrast that directly with Rhys. Rhys is comatose in a bed. His battle is completely silent to the outside world. He is facing a paralyzing psychological test inside a void of darkness within his own heart, confronting the spirit of the Kaignis King, Saberfang. Physical power is absolutely useless to Rhys in this moment. Only pure, unadulterated emotional resilience is going to save him.
And in that pitch-black darkness, surrounded by terrifying illusions and agonizing pain, Rhys remembers the philosophy that motivated his entire journey from the very beginning, the legend of Arphasos. The will of the heart is the key to destiny. These profound words, which he originally read on the Dragon Lord's door, literally become the anchor that stops him from being totally consumed by the venom. He realizes that his purpose isn't born from hatred or darkness, but from a fierce, unwavering desire to defend Rugaia. He finds the light in his own darkness.
Section 6, Awakening in the Village. Now, we move to the explosive climax of the arc, where these agonizing internal narratives and the desperate external combat finally collide. The external stakes reach a lethal fever pitch. Warlord Davili's men, the Maelstrom gang leaders, have ambushed the village. They initiate their deadly Maelstrom prison technique. It's this massive crystalline prism designed to trap and execute the remaining rangers. Even Derek's immense physical strength is faltering against their overwhelming magic. The dragons are being forced into retreat. To any onlooker, it looks like an absolute checkmate. But right while the physical battle looks entirely lost, a crucial internal battle is finally won. Aurora, who is watching this whole disaster unfold, is forced to confront her deeply rooted grief. A divine voice prompts a profound realization within her. What is the point of complaining about a puzzle you refuse to help put together? She finally realizes Rhys has done nothing to deserve her wrath, and in a beautiful moment of character growth, instead of cursing him and wallowing in her own sorrow, she chooses to let go of her blinding hatred. She chooses to bless him.
This emotional growth proves to be absolutely necessary for their collective survival.
And at that exact moment, Reyes secures his own internal victory. He completely rejects Saberfang's taunts. He loudly declares his unwavering purpose to defend the realm. In this epic clash of wills within his own soul, Reyes proves the absolute strength of his heart. Because he fought not with base, selfish desire, but with true, pure conviction, he doesn't just kill the beast in his mind. No, Saberfang actually acknowledges Reyes' incredible resilience. In an act of profound respect, the Kaignis king shares his power, permanently intertwining their spirits.
And the real-world results of that internal victory is staggering. Just as the Maelstrom gang prepares to drop a fatal lightning strike on the trapped Rangers, the Maelstrom prism just shatters into completely harmless dust. Reyes awakens. His internal victory over the psychological poison instantly turns the tide of the external physical battle. He unleashes the Ryzen strike, stepping right out of the smoke to confidently confront the bandits. His internal emotional resilience has directly and literally manifested as overwhelming physical salvation for his entire team.
As a mentor analyzing this case study, it leaves us with one absolutely critical takeaway. The Dragon Lord was right to test them the way he did. The Kaignis King arc proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that true strength isn't merely about the physical monsters we can slay out there in the forest. It is entirely dependent on the demons we are able to conquer in the darkness of our own hearts. Rey survived because his internal conviction was ultimately far stronger than his external fears. So as you look at your own journey ahead, I want you to ask yourself a question. Which battle will define you? The one the whole world sees, or the one you fight entirely alone? Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Stay vigilant out there.